A top WWE star is undergoing a gimmick change, plus multiple Raw stars have been announced for next week's NXT, and AEW are planning a Dynamite special next month. It's all in the wrestling news right now. NXT last night saw us reflecting on the hubris of Baron Corbin.
Yes, he said that nostalgia may have gotten the better of him, so in order to dictate his future, he has to kill the past.
He does, and he did so by burning representations, effigies, if you will. Is that the word? Maybe not. Of his previous gimmicks and personae. A nice Hawaiian shirt from the Happy Corbin era. Oof, there you go. The crown from the King Corbin days. The vest from the Constable Corbin days. All in the bin. He promises no nonsense, no gimmicks, no bullshine going forward.
Oh, I really thought you were going to say that.
No.
Yeah, so are we going to see a ultra serious, no gimmicks needed Baron Corbin, or is this going to lead to another Baron Corbin comedy
he comes
twist?
out dressed as a toaster.
Yeah, like
toaster Corbin.
I'm going to stop being serious. Yeah. No, I reckon because it's NXT and there's enough wacky characters already, maybe this is legit, and we are going to see a really serious Baron Corbin. But my question is, will it work? And did he need to?
I think genuinely, when it comes to Baron Corbin, I think some gimmicks needed. I think that he's one of those guys, like he spent a long time in NXT, and it was almost felt like he should get a call up just for time served. And then when he was called up, it was a bit flat, and he's gone through multiple different images. And I think he gets a lot of grief for his role in the grander picture. I think he needs a little something rather than just, hello, I'm Baron Corbin.
Well, I see it as, I think, the Corbin, at first, I thought the same as you there, that he spent so long in NXT, and he was surrounded by, at the time, the NXT roster was the best of the wrestling world all in one place. And then he came up, and I think the time everyone started to really respect Baron Corbin and go, actually, you know what, he is doing a good job, is when he started being more silly and having more gimmicky storylines and stuff. And I think he does that really, really well. So I'm not sure, this represents a little bit of a risk to me.
Yeah.
But I guess if there's any place to take a risk, it's NXT. You can experiment on NXT.
He can have some fun. It does seem as if he's doing these, if he's doing this vignette on NXT, looks like he's there for a little bit, just to kind of bounce around a bit and work with some of the younger guys, and maybe find his new sound again.
Yes.
So best wishes to him. A team who I don't think are going to be in NXT for much longer. Well, they have to literally leave, according to the match they had last night. Is the Creed brothers?
I've been bait and switched. I've been bait and switched by the WWE because last week they set up a match between the Dyad and the Creed brothers, with the losers leaving NXT. Obviously, because of all the news of what are their names again?
Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed.
Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed. I was going to go Zach Gibson and James Drake, but Rip Fowler and Jagger Reed, all the news that they're waiting for their contracts to come to an end and all that sort of stuff. I was like, they are obviously going to be the losers of this match. Instead, the Creed brothers have lost. But I think that's a good thing.
It did so with the help of a mystery hooded figure who appeared on the apron and clattered them. And this led to the loss. And it means that Julius Creed and Brutus Creed are now done with NXT. We talked about this a bit last week in a spoiler section of the news, so we can talk about it quite openly now. There is wild speculation that this will instigate Brutus and Julius Creed making their way to the main roster.
And I think of all the members of the NXT roster, they are possibly two who will have the better chance at the minute of thriving on the main roster, because they are very unique. They've got the amateur thing going on, but also some of the stuff they do in the ring's crazy. They're a really good mix of power and agility and tag team tactics. I'm not so certain about them on the mic, but that's always something you can throw them with a manager, or you can try and disguise that. But in the ring, I think they are really going to catch people's attention.
They were very heavily hyped when NXT got rebooted in 2021. I think there were certain reports saying that internally they're seen as potential WrestleMania main eventers.
Oh, wow. Against each other?
Oh.
Well, they're called...
It'll be a classic fight, brother versus brother.
They are called Julius and Brutus, so everyone's been waiting for specifically for Brutus to turn on Julius.
It'll be Brutus. So we can have and do it on SmackDown where Michael Cole can go to Brutus. He'll do it.
I think that I can't remember what I think.
Nobody can.
Whereas when it felt like the Creeds were very much in line to win the NXT tag team titles, and then as soon as they didn't, I remember thinking, well, it's only got to be a matter of time until they're called up, and it looks like that's the way we're going.
It looks like that way as they are going to the main roster. Main roster lads and lass are heading to NXT next week. Who's heading to Tuesday night?
It's the Spooky Goths. It's the
Goths.
Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley was on already last week, as was Finn Balor, but he was naughty. He wasn't meant to be there. He attacked Seth Rollins, surprisingly, because Rollins was down defending his title on NXT, and Balor decided to crash the party in the build-up to their match at Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley was also there, but she was kind of walking around in a more legitimate manner. She was backstage intimidating
She had a
people.
pass.
She did. She was walking around backstage intimidating people in the locker room, and they were all like, "Oh my god, Rhea Ripley, guy."
Yeah, slam me, mommy. Good morning, Rhea.
Turning to Cartman there. Oh my god, you gay? It's Rhea Ripley.
Can't believe it's Rhea Ripley.
This week, yours was a bit more Terrence and Phillip. That was really good. Oh no.
You can't beat me, guy.
So,
Can't beat you, buddy. Good morning, mommy.
where are we? Where
are we?
Oh yeah, Judgment Day. So
Judgment Day.
they're going to be they are going to be there next week because they've been invited there by Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Carmelo Hayes has recently been clashing with Finn Balor, which was part of Balor's feud, I guess, with Seth Rollins, because Carmelo Hayes has like a respectful friendship with Rollins, and he doesn't like Balor because of that.
So we'll see them all hanging out next week on NXT. You know, they're going to be on the same brand as Gallus. I know Barry watches. Good morning, Barry. I think that Barry and Rhea might just go, oh, what did you make of that list that Cultaholic put out yesterday?
Oh, God.
Nice bit of bants backstage.
I was scared about that.
That'd be nice, that.
That's all. No.
Have a nice little chat about what videos you like that we do.
I didn't like the part of the news where they did South Park impression.
Tom's a bit loud, isn't he? Now, speaking of Rhea Ripley, a lot of love backstage from following Monday Night Raw. Fightful Select say that officials were very impressed with the grit and the gritty nature of the match between Rhea Ripley and Natalya. We also heard that management, not only far away on the UK tour, who were encouraging Fightful Select to check the match out, but also management in attendance were very happy with the match. It felt like, I think Natalya put out a tweet saying that it was an apology to herself, that match, because the last few matches that she's had with Rhea, they've been short, sharp affairs.
Yeah, she lost in Saudi Arabia in just over a minute as well to Rhea, I believe. So yeah, I don't think many people really took Natalya seriously as well when she was doing these promos saying like, oh, you're going to see the real Natalya. I'm going to really do myself a good service in this this rematch with Rhea, and no one really seemed to be taking Natalya seriously, and then they went and delivered in gritty fashion. So I'm pleased not only for Rhea, because she's getting all the plaudits all the time, and rightly so, but I'm pleased for Natalya as well.
Yeah, she's a grafter, and been there for a long time. Now multi-time Guinness World Record holder as well.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that picture with all her frames.
Yeah.
From the weekend, like a proud mother.
Yes.
Look at all my things. Meanwhile, over on AEW, Dynamite is tonight. Chris Jericho, I believe, is speaking tonight. That's one thing they've already announced.
Okay.
Chris Jericho's doing a segment, but let's look ahead to next month where something even bigger could be happening on AEW.
Yes, they're heading to Tampa, Florida on August 2nd and are naming the show Dynamite 200, which not only seems to hint that it'll be a special occasion for the 200th episode of Dynamite, but also makes me feel so old because already they're up to 200 episodes. Time really flies.
It does, doesn't it?
Dynamite started in 2019.
So
I know. They still feel like the new kids on the block, AEW, but so much has happened in those 4 years.
So there's a special poster that they've released with the Dynamite 200 logo, and I genuinely think that, you know, knowing AEW, they're going to chuck some marquee matches onto that 200th episode and make it feel special. Which I think WWE does the same when they get like 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, but they bring back
years.
a lot of old veterans, whereas AEW is only 4 years old, so they've got to go. Well,
remember Hikaru Shida?
she's there. She's still here.
Bring back all the legends.
Yeah.
They'll do something special. If you're going to one in Tampa, Florida, I expect something rather magnificent to happen there. Are you twitching today?
Yes, myself and Owen will be helming the Fabes, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. The chat, there was a bit of a mutiny last week. The chat insisted that we change tactics, and we did, and then we lost a match, and then we won a match. So it's still up in the air. What tactics do we go? Oh, dear me. It's all stressful.
I like the spearmint ones.
Oh, yeah. The little mints.
Little
That's
mints.
a good one.
That's
Yeah,
the joke.
very
That's
good.
the joke there.
What are you up to, Tom?
I'm having some spearmint ones.
No.
Oh, right, those. Brand new Desert Island Graps. Later on today, I have a chat with AEW and ROH star Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, yes.
We talk about some comments that she's made recently about wanting to move into wrestling training. I ask her the ultimate question: what one thing do wrestlers getting into the business need to do now that isn't being taught?
Okay.
It's a great answer. And I think if you're getting into the wrestling game, it's one that you should hear. Mercedes is on. Also, we talk about next Saturday, North Wrestling Thunderstruck.
Oh, my
July
goodness.
15th, the Walker Dome. Mercedes Martinez faces Rio.
Oh, it's absolutely huge.
Martinez is a Geordie.
Martinez is a... Well, she will be.
She will be a Geordie, along with Joey Janela, Scotty 2 Hotty.
Oh, my goodness.
And Gangrel.
Gangrel.
The biggest wrestling show in the UK next week, July 15th, is North Wrestling Thunderstruck, northwrestling.co.uk. Me and Mercedes Martinez talk about that as well. It's on the podcast feed a little later on today, and you can watch the video if you're a Patreon. And of course, for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.